Hi everyone.
Just who Gambit
So-
we're looking for.
I'm making this video just to go through some of Gambit's powers. Mainly made it for a friend, but I thought I would upload it just so that people, if anyone else out there is struggling, it's just a nice breakdown of his powers. So the way that his powers work, he has the stacks of cards. You see the 4 stacks under the vertical. So it has like 4 charges of his power, and they do recharge, but they recharge quite slowly. So on the bottom, you'll see he's got the L1, the heart cards, and the R1, the spades cards. So the heart cards
Mon Dieu, that hurt.
heal you, but also provide a healing boost. So like, wait till these respawn.
Just who Gambit we're looking for.
So you see, it healed myself, but also gave me a healing boost when I was using my card to heal friendly bots. The R1 gives a damage boost,
You was out of your
so you
league.
deal more damage. Now, the mistake that a lot of people make when they first jump onto Gambit is they will just spam his ability and then do the offshoot really quick, so like that. But as you can see, that uses 2 stacks of his cards. You don't really get any value from the buff for just activating like the heal or the damage ones. And his cards take quite a while to recharge. So generally, a lot of the time,
found me
if you're
someone to
playing
fight.
in a
Yeah,
game,
that hurt.
what you're going to be doing if you're healing is just using the heart cards and then not even really using an ability. You just want that buff. If someone's about to die, then you can use one of the abilities off it. But really what you want to try and do is preserve those card stacks for as long as possible. So I will go into what the other things do. So on the heal one, you've got 2. So the L1 flush sends out a stream of cards. It bounces between enemies that are within a range of each other. Like that. And then
Take this.
the
Merci beaucoup.
R1, the raise, sends them out like a spread like that,
Just
so
who Gambit
any
we're
people
looking
that are
for.
close to you will get healed. Now that ability does also have something else interesting with it. It also purifies. So what that means, like for example, enemy ults. So like for example, Winter Soldier's ult reduces your maximum health. So if a Winter Soldier
Got me good.
hits enemy teammates with an ult, you can L1 for the hearts, R1 for the raise, and that will take away that decrease to their max health. It does also work for other people, so like Emma Frost's ult. If they're being mind controlled, it'll snap them out with mind control. The only issue with using it against Emma Frost's ult is that it lasts for quite a long time, so she does have time to
Just who Gambit we're looking for.
like mind control people again. So that's just something you need to watch out for. Now the damage abilities. So again, you've got the 2 options. So the raise just sends out a wave of cards, knocks them back, and like bounces them up into the air. The R1, the flush, sends them out in a straight line. But what that also does is it applies a healing debuff to the person that you've hit. So the person that you hit with that, they won't be able to be healed as quickly. Like it'll be a penalty to the speed that they can be healed at. and then his ultimate. So his ultimate is one of the few support ults in the game that is an
Just who
offensive
Gambit
ult.
was looking for.
And it works off line of sight. So you can see those little purple reticles. That shows you who it will affect. So it's not an area of effect ult. So really, you want to be in the back lines. I mean, you probably want to be in the back lines with Gambit anyway. Have everyone in front of you so you can see what's going on, see who needs healing, try and pick off anybody who needs, like who's almost dead. And then if everybody is in front of you anyway and you get your ult, and you can just ult.
Never falls!
So what the ult does is it applies health regen to yourself and any other people affected by it. It also gives you and anyone affected by it a damage boost, which is why it can be so useful for pushing.
Ooh, found me someone to fight.
And it also has a unique effect on the attack. So not only does it apply a damage boost, but it also adds explosion damage to attacks. So if I do this and then do that, you see it does like explosion damage. So often a good thing to do when you ult, because you and the rest of your team, once you've applied this ult to them, are probably going to charge forward. So a good thing to do is apply the ult, then apply the damage boost, and just rush in and try and kill people as quick as possible.
You lose.
And then there's his staff hit, which on controller is L2. So this staff hit does heal you.
Ooh,
It also heals anybody in your vicinity, like teammates. So there it took a bit of damage. So you see it healed me and it healed that friendly bot for a little bit as well. What you can do, because the staff hit is not just to recover, it also does do damage. So if somebody is on very low HP and you're chasing them down, you can use the dash and then chain that with the staff hit like that, and you see it does do damage. Or you can just do the regular ground hit. You can also use it to reach like higher up places, like that. Yeah. So the main thing about Gambit really is just managing his stacks of cards, because what you don't want to do is use all your stats, and then if you've got the enemy team bearing down on you, you can't use either of your abilities. So you're going to be a bit stuck, and then once you get one of the charges back, you can activate one of the buffs, but again, you won't be able to use any of the abilities. So some good times to use the abilities. So the heart raise, that one. Either if you're right in the middle of people, your teammates, and they all need a bit of a heal, or again to try and counter opposition team ults if they have a certain stats effect. The L1 ability on the card stack is good for if a couple of, like a teammate or a couple of teammates are just about to die. So like that, it can heal them quite quickly. The L1 ability on the Spade deck, I found to be quite useful if you're pushing and charging into an enemy group, or if you're just chasing someone down. So you might dash and spin into them, and then do that. The R1 ability on the Spade deck, because it applies the healing debuff and does quite a lot of damage, it's quite useful if you're trying to take out someone who's being healed, so like an enemy tank. So if someone is being healed, you might do that. does quite a lot of damage, and it applies that healing debuff, so they'll be easiest to take down if they're being like if a support is healing them from a distance. Otherwise, you probably just want to be trying to apply what the little damage you can to the
Found me
support.
someone to fight.
Now placement. So a lot of people think that because Gambit can DPS as well as heal, that you want to be kind of alongside. I found that
They hitting real hard.
with supports, unless you have like a range limit on your attacks, which Gambit doesn't. Gambit can hit enemies from like really far away.
Gambit enjoyed that a little
Ideally,
too
you want to
much.
have everyone or as many people as possible in front of you, like from your team. So then you get a good view. You can see who needs healing, and then if no one is in dire need of healing, you can do a bit of damage, go back to healing, do a bit more damage.
Baby cars, is that your game?
Double kill!
So you can DPS as Gambit. He's quite effective as a DPS. Obviously, he doesn't have tank health. But his primary role is a support. So typically it's about picking and choosing your moments when you want to DPS. And when you're not going to leave your teammates hanging by DPSing. So like if you're on a 3 support team, like a team of 3 supports, or you've mostly cleared out an area and there's just like 1 or 2 people left, you might chase them down.
Double kill!
Gambit enjoyed that a little too much.
Yeah.
That's 3!
Oh, dear, that hurt.
Yeah, I think that's about it. Obviously, when he shoots out his cards, he shoots them 3 at a time. So they won't just hit one person. It is possible
Could
to
use
hit.
one of these.
So like if I stand here,
Just who Gambit was looking for.
so that's healing my teammate and hitting the enemy at the
Baby
same time
cars, is that your game?
because of the spread. You can see the spread there. If you get closer, obviously it's smaller. Further away, obviously it's a slightly larger spread. I don't believe they pierce. No. So you can see I did no damage to this bot in the middle because this one was in the way. And yeah, that's about it. So hopefully people are having fun playing Gambit. Make sure, if you've not, to read his abilities because his kit is more complicated than people think. People think, oh, use that to activate his healing abilities, not realizing that just activating the heart deck on its own gives you a buff and heals yourself. And the same with the damage. They don't realize that using the spade deck on its own gives you a damage buff.
Found me
You
someone to
don't
fight.
have to use a second ability. Part of
You know
playing
you had that coming.
Gambit is managing his cards, like managing his cooldowns, as it were. And you always want to try and make sure that you're not using all the cards, because then if you get caught in a pinch, you don't have anything to fall back on. Like if you're being swarmed by the enemies, or someone's chasing you down,
They hitting real hard.
it's good just to activate the heart cards, because then you're going to be harder to kill. And you also do increase healing to your teammates if the enemy's trying to push onto you. Or if you're chasing someone down, you might chase after them with the damage boost. Yeah, so just something to bear in mind. Alright, anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Feel free to check me out on Twitch. And I'll catch you all later. Alright, bye!